In November 2022, a reporter sent Sam Bankman-Fried a private message. She'd spent months covering him. She admired him. And she asked him a simple question about all that ethics talk, the philanthropy, the principles. Was it real? He wrote back 4 words, "Yeah, it's a front." At that moment, Sam Bankman-Fried was worth, on paper, more than $20 billion. He had testified before Congress. Brad Pitt's people had called. So had Anna Wintour. The smartest investors alive had handed him their money. And the entire time, he says, it was a game. So here's the only question that actually matters. How did one man convince everyone, the regulators, the celebrities, the journalists, the politicians, that he was the most trustworthy person in the room? That's reverse engineering. Start with what you saw. The hair, wild, uncombed, like he'd just rolled off a couch. The cargo short, the wrinkled t-shirt. The same outfit to a beach bar, and to a meeting with the most powerful banker in the United States Senate. Michael Lewis, the writer behind The Big Short and Moneyball, described meeting him for the first time. Rumpled, limp white socks, eyes flickering sideways across the Zoom, because he was playing a video game during the meeting. And here's the thing you have to understand. None of that reads as disrespect. It reads as honest, because we've been trained by a decade of tech funders to believe that the person too busy, too brilliant, too focused on the mission to bother with a haircut must be the real thing. The polish is what salesmen wear. The mess feels like truth. He even played video games during the speech meeting where he asked Sequoia Capital for money. They invested anyway. Some of them said it made him seem more credible. The custom was working, and the custom was the easy part. Here's the second technique. You don't have to convince everyone yourself. You convince a few trusted faces, and let their trust rub off on you. Tom Brady fronted the ads, reportedly paid $55 million. Stephen Curry, $35 million. I'm not an expert, Curry says in the ad, and I don't need to be. Think about that line. You don't need to understand it. You just need to trust the guy who does. Larry David, $10 million, for a Super Bowl ad where he plays a fool for doubting crypto. Gisele Bündchen, Shaquille O'Neal, Naomi Osaka, a $20 million campaign designed to do one thing: borrow other people's credibility. Then it climbed higher. Anna Winters personally reached out, asking him to sponsor the Met Gala. The press profiled him as the rare billionaire who lived modestly and planned to give it all away. And Michael Lewis, one of the most respected non-fiction writers in the world, followed him for months and came away charmed. This is how the halo works. By the time an ordinary person hears the name Sam Bankman-Fried, they weren't evaluating him. They were evaluating Tom Brady's judgment, and the press's judgment, and the judgment of every smart person who'd already said yes. Trust isn't earned anymore. It's inherited. But a costume and famous friends, that's not enough to move billions. You need a story, one big idea that explains away every doubt before it's even spoken. For Sam Bankman-Fried, that story had a name: effective altruism. The idea sounds beautiful. Use reason and evidence to do the most good for the most people. And SBF added a twist. What if the most good you could do was get obscenely rich, so you could give it all away? Suddenly, the greed had a halo too. He wasn't accumulating billions for himself. He was a vessel, a man enduring wealth on humanity's behalf. And watch what that story does. Why does he live with 10 roommates instead of buying a yacht? Effective altruism. Why the cheap car, the beanbag, the cargo shorts? Effective altruism. Why should you trust him with your money more than a normal CEO? Because a normal CEO wants the money, he wants to give it all away. Every red flag had a ready-made explanation. The story didn't just make him look good, it made suspicions itself feel small-minded. And that is the most dangerous thing a manipulator can build. Not an excuse for a lie, but a frame that turns your doubt against you. If you're finding this interesting, subscribe. We break down how power actually works every week. Now the final level, the one that separates a conman from a legend. Most fraudsters hide from authority. Sam Bankman-Fried walked towards it. He flew to Washington, he sat before Congress, and he didn't ask to be left alone. He asked to be regulated. He positioned FTX as the responsible one, the grown-up in the reckless industry, the exchange that wanted rules, wanted oversight, wanted to protect the little guy. He became one of the largest political donors in the country, $10 million flowing to both parties. Think about the psychology of that. The man who is stealing your money is the same man standing in front of the lawmakers, begging them to write rules to prevent theft. Who suspects the person volunteering for the audit? Who double-checks the man asking to be checked? By inviting scrutiny, he made scrutiny feel unnecessary. He didn't dodge the spotlight. He aimed it at himself and then controlled exactly what it lit up. And then, in a single week in November of 2022, it all came apart. A report questioned what was really on FTX books. Customers rushed to pull their money, and the money wasn't there. Roughly $8 billion in customer funds had quietly flowed to his trading firm, Alameda, and vanished into bad bets, luxury real estate, and political donations. The man who lived modestly had been gambling with other people's savings the entire time. But the real reveal wasn't in the bankruptcy filing, it was in a text conversation. A Vox reporter named Kelsey Piper, someone who'd taken his ethics seriously, messaged him as it collapsed. She told him he'd been really good at talking about ethics, and Sam Bankman-Fried, for once, stopped performing. He called it this dumb game we woke Westerners play, where we all say the right shibboleths so everyone likes us. She asked if ethics had been mostly a front. Yeah, he said. I mean, that's not all of it, but it's a lot. The bankruptcy lawyer who took over, a man who had cleaned up Enron, said he had never in his entire career seen such a complete failure of corporate controls. The costume, the halo, the alibi, the witness stand, he just told us himself what it was for. In November 2023, a jury convicted him on 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy. In March 2024, a judge sentenced him to 25 years in prison and ordered him to forfeit $11 million. The judge said something that lingers. He saw no remorse. His appeals have so far gone nowhere. By late 2025, the judges hearing his case sounded openly skeptical. He is, by most accounts, out of options. But the prison sentence isn't the lesson. The lesson is the part that should keep you up at night. He didn't beat stupid people. He beat the United States Congress. He beat elite venture capitalists whose entire profession is detecting exactly this. He beat the press. He beat a brilliant author. He beat people far harder to fool than you or me. Because trustworthiness, it turns out, it's not a quality, it's a surface. And a surface can be built. The messy hair, the noble mission, the famous friends, the plea to be regulated. Every signal we use to decide who deserves our trust, he reproduced on purpose. So the next time someone seems too trustworthy to question, ask yourself who taught you to feel that way. Sam Bankman-Fried already told you the answer. It's a game, and the prize is your belief. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, see you on the next one.